and then we'll come to the Lakers because I think that is a big part. But
Okay.
so the Bogdan back and forth bait, and then you thoughts on that, Scott, and then also you do get a major win though. You move Bledsoe, which I did not think was going to happen, and then you get Drew Holiday, which was one of the most sought after people in this kind of whatever you want, like trade bracket, So what are your thoughts on all of that?
Getting Bledsoe out just had to happen. Like, Giannis is gone. If it doesn't happen, they threw the kitchen sink at the Pelicans to do it, it's just the best play that they could have made. Bledsoe is just literally a walking brick in the playoffs, and he like told this to Harry, but like his elite defense is just like, it's still a net negative when every time he touches a ball, he turns it over via a missed shot or a charge, or like just all the crap that he pulls, and like people are just giving him like the license to brick threes in the playoffs just to play better help on Giannis. So it's like he's just a complete liability at that point.
He's a super liability, yeah.
We tried it for 2 years and had to ship him out. So I'm very proud of them just biting the bullet and just doing what they had to do to make that happen.
Yeah, it seems like it's never a good sign when there's a guy who every year you're like, okay, if this guy is just not terrible during the playoffs, like we could do something. But every year it's just like the same thing over and over. It's like, you just got to move on. Like, it's not going to happen. And everyone knows that, like, for the Bucks to have like reached that next level, or when they do look that next level, it was when Bledsoe was looking good. But the problem is when that doesn't happen, everyone knows like, okay, something has to change here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just, when he's not firing, he just throws a huge wrench in the whole offense, because Chris Middleton can't create his own shot really. Giannis just gets tsunamied with bodies when he drives to the rim, and he has no like mid-range shot, or post game. So it's like literally there's a scripted possession every time the Bucks bring it down. It's just, does Giannis go in from half court, or does he give it to Bledsoe and try to get something, from him, or does Bledsoe just do Bledsoe things? So it's like they were figured out, and Bledsoe made their team like too one-dimensional, and he couldn't execute the one dimension that it was. So it's like done.
Yeah. So and now what are your thoughts about the Bogdan back and forth? Probably not going to happen now.
So I read up, it probably wasn't going to happen, but like
based on money,
yeah. Okay. I mean, we'll see what happens. Where he goes, if he goes to the Lakers, fuck, dude.
I told Scott
on site for Bogdanovic in these streets if he goes to the Lakers.
I told Scott G that when that first like news broke that, oh wait, maybe the Bogdan thing's not happening, I was like, it's 100% was just LeBron like tattling to the commissioner. Like, he has him on speed dial. He texted him and said, hey, is this, I don't know, I'm just me, but does this seem right to you?
Yeah, and then the shitty thing is like they're already reporting. They reported that the Lakers and Hawks were interested in him. Like, how did that happen? Like, same fucking tampering as everybody else.
Well, also as LeBron and the Lakers, you can't cry about tampering when you got AD.
Yeah,
you guys have the same.
LeBron
agent.
literally created a tampering like organization by owning Clutch fucking Sports, and Rich Paul representing like half the NBA. Like, he literally has a tampering fucking mafia.
We're just hanging out together. Well, yeah, I mean, LeBron even said like I was in his ear, like I was talking AD, every day, and everyone's like, okay, seems.
Yeah, you can as a player, but LeBron James is the front office of every team he fucking plays on. So it's like, It's like he has like the legitimate. He has such a like cavalcade of loopholes where his fucking sports
It's
agency
ridiculous.
reps all this huge talent, and he's also a player, so he can't be implicated in any tampering. And then also the front office just bows to him. But yeah, Bogdanovic. Oh, that would have been so sick.
It was going to be a big pickup for you guys.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have put us over the top. It like we're literally both those players would have shored up like the main weaknesses the Bucks had on offense, like just spacing the floor and having a playmaker that can create a shot for somebody.
Mhm.
Those are the two things we didn't like really have, and they would have just slotted right in and did that for us, which would have been sick. But you know, I don't think it was going to happen from a money standpoint. But the NBA looking into it, it kind of rubs me the wrong way as a Bucks fan. It's like it just screams to me that it's like because Giannis could leave the Bucks, like everyone was just pointing, like this.
Yeah.
So people could actually get a shot at Giannis as opposed to like actual other tampering shit that you could easily point to in the past. That's much more blatant, like Kemba Walker going to Boston the day before he could sign and just being there. Like, whose idea was that for him to go to Boston, but the day before signing with Boston? Like,
yeah, I think I mean, I get the frustration for sure because it does seem like the tampering stuff's so tricky because I mean, everyone knows it happens. It's just like underground and like, wasn't it I can't even remember when it was, but the like Magic got fined because of tampering. Like they actually came down and was like, no, like the Lakers and Magic were when Magic was in the front office and he was like, I don't remember even who it was with. It might have been with AD, but they actually like fined him or something. So it's like, when do we like actually hand out punishments and when are we just kind of like, well, this happens, but what are you going to do? It's like out there. And this feels like one of those where it was like something seems to have changed and it's not entirely clear why, at least to me, but
yeah. Well, and it's frustrating too because it kind of seemed like most people were reporting that, hey, you know, in the situation that we're at with the bubble, coming off the bubble, like people are going to be more, and the shorter window to trade and move players, like the tampering thing isn't going to be really sniffed around because of all those things, which I think is more than fair because obviously, you know, everyone's talking down the bubble. They're going fishing in the artificial lake together. They're on the same floor hotel as everyone. They play each other every other day. And then also like, it's just a blitzkrieg free agency because the season's just starting again next month. So, you know, everyone's just sending texts and saying, hey, come over. Like, what's the money like? Come over. Let's compete for a championship, which I'm totally fine with too, just given everything that's going on. And then, yeah, they get dinged for, and it's not, again, no disrespect. Cause I was in Scott's ear a lot saying, I really like Bogdanovic. You know, I even watched him this year play the Warriors and he was just in Oakland. He was just cooking the Warriors and getting into the teeth and creating his own shots. But it's not even like he's a top tier player. You know what I mean? Like the Chris Paul thing long ago, which who knows if that was justified either, but that made more sense because he's Chris Paul. And it really does just seem like a shot at Giannis to like jiggle the Bucks so that he might fall out and go to another team than anything to just try and snipe on this weird Bogdanovic tampering thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just seemed really petty and weird choice for your snipe only because it's basically targeted at Giannis to get him to move, hopefully, if the team's not good enough. So, yeah, I think that's kind of dumb, personally.
yeah. So, I mean, the dream scenario we're missing out on because we've already made moves that kind of spent the money that we could possibly send for Bogdanovic. But the tampering allegations is what kind of put the nail in the coffin, I think. I think we could have really got there by, you know, signing people and just trading them kind of like a reverse sign and trade almost, to make the money work. But the fact that the NBA's in the business of looking at us for tampering, I think that killed it like dead, nail in the coffin. Because if they tried, it would have been validating on some level that there was tampering. So they kind of had to drop it, in my opinion.